Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. We are back in our Roblox game here. So what I thought I was just going to make a quick video. I wanted to work on the arm. Now that we have the arm, it's time for us to kind of redesign it and do something different. So there's a couple of ways we can do this. We can look for as I was saying, we can look for a garbage truck which has an arm on it that we like, and we can try and isolate it. I think this is the one that we're using here. We could try and isolate it, and let's see, garbage truck, probably like side load maybe. See, here's a whole bunch of them. No, that's something else. Oh yeah, see that? See, it has the grabber on it, and then it just goes up. It looks kind of neat. That's exactly what we've created, just a little different. I guess I'm just kind of looking for like you know, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We are gonna open from file. Now I found this excavator in the toolbox somewhere, and I converted it. And what we're gonna do is, right now it's set up so you have to press the buttons to make it work. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna redesign it so that way you can use the keyboard to make the excavator work, to move the shovel and all that kind of stuff. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to add this eventually to the construction pack. Like it's on the way. It's on the way. It's just taking. I'm taking my. I apologize. I'm taking my sweet time. Just kind of, yeah. It needs to be designed, right? So, and often I don't have the ideas right away, or I do something and I just, you know, I expend my creativity and then. Okay, so there's obviously a lot in there. We'll delete. So this one here. So it's big. Obviously it's big. What we can do is I can scale it down. Yeah, I like it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the first part of the arm here, and we're going to make this invisible. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make a weld to this arm here, and then that way this arm here becomes part of that, and we can say perfect. So now when it moves, and it doesn't, let's see, it doesn't necessarily have to be in alignment. Let's just because we can move the pivots around. It is still quite tall. I'll have to change the size of it. But you see, there we go. I like that. I think that's cool. And that's kind of the idea, right? We're just sort of adding to what we have. So if we do that, all right, now this piece here, could be something like that. And then, so what we need to do is now we need to say view. There must have been a big accident. There's been police vehicles and fire trucks going by for the last few minutes. So there must have been something going on out there. And we're going to say show constraint details. We're going to take this arm, we are going to weld it to there. Here, let's just, I just want to see how that's going to look first. Let's just see how it's going to operate. Yeah, that's kind of cool. But it only goes to there. So we'll have to change. Yeah, we'll have to change the orientation of it. So right, so now we're just kind of making it look like it's being attached to here. Right, so it touches that. Let's see what that does. Right, still playing around with it, still trying to align it. But I guess basically what I'm trying to do with this is just to show you that once you have your basic idea of what the arm is, you can pretty much make that invisible, and then you can take a more detailed model and use that sort of as the, you know, yeah, see, now that could work. See how it slides up the side there? Like that. Oh yeah, so now what we need to do is, this is actually working out really cool. So now what we need to do is on this side here, we need to take apart, let's see, if we duplicate that. Now it can kind of look like there's something on the side. Alright, now this part here, and this part here, alright, let's see how that works. Now, I mean, obviously, if you take your time, you're going to be able to make something with far greater detail and all those things. It's just, again, we can only fit so much information in the video before, you know. I think that's cool. We made the bin. We put an arm on it. I think this is cool. So we pick up the bin. Ooh, that's a bit, I hadn't thought about that part there. So now what we want to do is we want to take this constraint here and we just want to move it here. So now it looks like the model I think that's right. It'll bend there. It should bend up there. I don't know. Bear with me. Bear with me here. Yeah. That's better. Oh, that's so cool. Alright, what's going on here? Alright, so what I'll do is I'll put this on... Yeah, see, I think that's kind of cool because it has the track there. It just needs to go back more. Or this needs to... Let's see. So maybe the whole arm itself? This here needs to be part of the arm. Maybe the whole arm itself needs to sit back a little bit. That's better. Oh, super cool. Yeah, then it dumps. I like it. We just have to change the orientation of... Oh, something's out here. That's an issue. Test that one more time. Right, so I uploaded this, but I haven't uploaded this one, so I'll upload this one here. Oh, that's perfect. Nice. Then once it gets to there, oh, that's even better. And then, yeah, J out. So now what I need to do is I need to make a controls. Oh, that's so cool. All right. Something in here is collidable. Ah, there we go. The camera keeps catching on it, and it's like, what's going on? Okay, so everything is in alignment. I guess we could take this and move it this way a little bit. So then we need this position, and it becomes this position, like that. Right, and now, again, we have, you know, a neat little arm that we've created. It looks cool. It's not the couple of stringy little pieces that we had. Now what I need to do maybe is make the pad cool. It's not on the angle of that. And that's sort of the thing, right? It's at 0. So this part here, I think this will have to be 0. Yeah. To have the alignment of that. And it would have to sit back here. So we could do that, and we could scale this a bit larger. There we go. You know, lots of little things, lots of little adjustments. There we go. So once the bin gets to there, then what we need to do is spawn in some trash. And I think Not 100% sure, but I think there's some dust. One of these has got some dust. Oh yeah, and we were working on the reward and the XP stuff as well. Maybe it was the broom on it. Article. Oh. Was it in the wheels? I don't even know. No. It was somewhere. Somewhere's in here. Alright, so let's restart this thing here. And let's go to the toolbox. And let's look up dust. Dust. There we go. Alright, so we'll take that. We'll copy that. Cool. Right, and then while this thing is, yeah, this is gonna be neat. Okay, so what we can do is we can scale this. Oh, that actually doesn't really matter. We keep it like this. Okay, so what we need now is let's duplicate it. Yeah, I like that actually. And we're going to scale it out a little bit. Except this one here is going to be totally invisible. This part here is going to do all the stuff that we want it to do, similar to this one here. See, once it gets hit by, it does all that stuff. So we're going to get rid of the effect. We're going to rename this rewards. And then we're going to insert a script. And this is going to be our reward script. Now, I think, was it this one here? Yeah. I haven't connected the game to the data save yet. So it won't save the money that we're giving ourselves when we leave the server and join the game. And that's fine. This, again, is just set up for the purpose of whatever it is. The purpose. The purpose. So we need, I say we need the player's name, right? And then that's in the drive seat. Okay. So script parent. Let's see. So let's create a couple of variables. Local player names equals script parent drive seat dot player name dot value. All right, and then we need, what else do we need? Let's look at the other reward script and see what we need. Oh yeah, these are the interfaces that are inside. That's right. And that's what we were trying to do. And then we were changing the player's leader stats. Hit.parent.player name.value. So this one's going to be a little bit different. So, all right. How do we make this this type of system work? So I've seen it where there's a whole bunch of these bins around the server. And what am I getting at here? There's a whole bunch of these bins around this server, and they just stay out, and then the player can go around and collect them. But I don't know like how the rewards and stuff work. So I don't even know what I'm trying to say right now. What I'm getting at is, how do we want to handle how these little bins work? So we can either activate, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna activate a button. So let's see. I think I have, we're gonna do something here. We're gonna go to open from Roblox. Just because I already have something made up for this, and I really like it. So we go to Project Alpha. I really like this one too. I like the layout of that one. We'll get into it. I want to take some of this and put it into here. This is going to be the next big thing. But I need to get the construction pack done, and I need to get this garbage pack done, and the tow truck pack done, so I can add it to the game. So in here, I did have, we'll let it load for a minute. Got the bin for the trash here, and then at people's houses, what's your trash pickup here? Where are we here? At people's houses. I think what I didn't like about this one was the cranes. And I think I have a new way of making all that work. So that's gonna make these games more fun. I hope anyway, that's my hope. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. So there's this. All right. Right, and what is this? This is just a generic, it's just a generic trash receptacle. But it has in it oh, I see. This destroys the load. Okay, hold on a second. Where do we get the... Right. So in here there's a proximity prompt which spawns the bin. Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you, Windows Defender, for defending my Windows. Alright, so when we activate the prompt, obviously it connects to the data store, which is probably why it's not working. Changes it to neon. What it does is it takes the bin. So you know what we can do here? We'll take this bit of code. Here, we'll take this bit of code, we'll copy it. No, what we're gonna do, let's duplicate this script, and then let's disable this script. I just want to go over how this works. So, if we get rid of all the variables, and then we don't worry about any of this kind of stuff, and then we don't worry about this. Perfect. Now we just need the button. Script parent dot proximity prompt. Perfect. Now what it's going to do is bin storage, server storage, and garbage load bin. So what we need to do is we need to take this bin here, the trash bin, and we need to put it into our server storage, and we may as well put it into trash, just like that. And what we'll do is we'll do that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to search for trash, and then we're going to find first child trash bin. Alright, and then what it's going to do is it's going to spawn that bin here, and it's going to be the player's named bin. Sounds like a lot, I know. Small garbage bin, isn't it? Oh, I see, I see. So where is it going to... So, it is going to activate the prompt. And then what it should do is we should say script.parent.parent.name equals player dot name dot garbage. So when it looks for this in the workspace, it's going to look for this. Game.workspace, and then we're going to need to say find first child, and then that has to be script.parent.parent.name. Yeah, that might work. We're just trying to, let's see. So when I activate the bin, there we go, there it is. Neat. So now in Project Alpha, all right, so what did we do there? What we had to do is we had to find this part. So what I did is I said, okay, when the player activates the prompt, rename this part, and that's what it did. It renamed it to my name, garbage. Is it garbage small? Garbage. Yeah. So it can even be, we can even name it like small bin, right? Whatever you want. And then what we need to do is, just so long as we can make that, it'll be searchable. So then, right, so it changes that. Perfect. Alright. So the bin spawns in. Then what? Well, what I had done is I put a handle on the bin. But in this case, we could do something a little different. We could... You know, because this is meant to be Okay, so taking this example here, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. No idea what I'm getting at. I guess what I'm getting at is that if you made this part of a mission, you could activate that prompt and it could spawn a whole bunch of them, and then the player could go around and they could pick up the individual bins. So if you wanted to do that, then when the player completes the mission, it would delete the bins from the workspace. That's one way of doing it. When we do it this way, it controls what the player has and doesn't have in the workspace. So if we only allow the player to spawn one bin at a time, that both helps the player, because if there's other players in the game and they happen to come over here and start, griefing or whatever they want to do, it allows the player to continue with their unique play experience, right? When they're able to spawn a single bin. Blah 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 is what I'm getting at. So I guess what we want to do is we need to take our trash bin. We need to bring it back into the workspace. Okay. And then what we need to do is we need to right click. We need to insert an object, a tool. And then we need to take this trash bin and we need to put it inside the tool. Wherever it is. Wherever it is. Let's see. Alright, and then we need inside here, we need another part. We can just take this part here, we can duplicate it. We'll call this handle. This needs to go here. Alright, let's see if we can pick it up like that. Nope, it needs to be welded on there. Alright, now we might be able to... I wonder if that will work. Yeah, there we go. So I need to rotate the handle. Perfect. So what I need to do is move the handle down a little bit. We want this to be off the ground when it's in the player's hand. That is almost perfect. And then when we press backspace, is it backspace that drops it? So we need to say can be dropped. Yeah, can be dropped. Alright, maybe that handle has to go down just a little bit. Weird. How do you... drop the tool. Huh. Alright, so if I need to add code to it to drop it, here we'll just start it there. Where are we at in here? 40 minutes? Holy cow. So it seems like I might need to add a little bit of code so we can drop this thing. I'm surprised. I thought it was just a backspace and we can drop it. Now I wonder, can we drop? Yeah, can't collide. I wonder if I move the handle away just a little bit, if that'll help. Who knows? I really want to check this out because the hotkey for I'll have to alright, so that doesn't appear to be working. Let's get something else. If it's in the player's hand, belongs to the player, right? So let's see, here it is in the workspace. And now, oh, maybe it's because of the model. Maybe it's because it's in the model. Yeah, that might be what it is. Nah! Boo! Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to go into my other game. I don't know if this has it. It might. In the gas pumps. Wait for it to load. Oh yeah, we have to destroy the touch interest. All right, so let's dissect this little bit of code and see how it works. So if we put this inside the handle, we can go insert proximity prompt like that, and the action text on it can be dropped. And then what we need to do is we need to right click, insert object script, All right, this can be called drop script. Okay, and then in here, I'm going to paste the code. I'm going to close this game down, and we'll go over it. So, tool, script of parent to parent, proximity prompt, script to parent. Okay, so what it does is it says the touch interest. So when you pick up an object, let's see if we can dissect this. This is the trash bin here. Now, you see how in the handle there's no object called touch interest? I got stuck inside the bin. What's going on? Oh, but it's supposed to delete it when... Alright, we can do that. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so what it did is it destroyed the object. Let's see if it just drops. It could be that, what? Let's see. So strange. Okay, so what we need to do then, if it doesn't want to let us drop it, what we need to do is we need to say script parent 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 maybe that. So then, jeepers, how do we drop this thing? Maybe it destroys the handle. Maybe that's it. Holy cow! Script parent remove seems a bit extreme. Script parent. See, then it removes the handle, but it doesn't remove the the bin itself. So strange. Well, anyways, I guess that's kind of a boring end to a semi-exciting video. So what do? Let's just recap. We made our arm. we added an additional arm to it, so that looks kind of cool. And now what we're trying to do is we're just trying to handle the bin. So what does this script do? This script, it deletes the bin when it's touched by the bin. So the idea is that in the other game, you take this bin and walk it over to the truck, and then it welds itself to the truck. It gets dumped into the back of the truck, and then the player can take it back here and do that. But we have this arm. So I mean, for all intents and purposes, we can always have it delete the bin once it empties here. Maybe that's what should happen. Yeah, maybe that's what should happen. I actually kind of like that. So then the player grabs the bin, bring it over here, drop it. Excellent. And we can pick it up with the, okay, I like that. So we'll take the trash bin, put that back in here. Let's see if we can spawn it. Excellent. Then we come over here, drop it. Cool. Get in our garbage truck. So, I mean, obviously the reward, you know, in case the player picks it up like that, I guess. Maybe we'll have to move the arm. Maybe we move the arm. You know, we could always do that. I liked it when it would pivot. To me, that was kind of exciting, but it was too much. So what we need to do is take this and move this over here. Yeah, there we go. So now we're going to modify this arm a lot. We can do a lot with it. We can add it, you know, we can change it and use it and adapt it into many different things. Now that we have an arm that's coded and works, the possibilities are endless of what we can do. And that's the wonderful thing about Roblox, the creativity that it brings to the table. So we spawn the bin. I like it. I like it. That's right. If you press B, we get rid of the bin. And maybe that's when it will delete. Yeah, maybe that's what we'll do with the B. Because now, what's the name of the bin? It's now, the player's name, garbage small. So we can search the workspace for that. So that'll be the last thing here that we're going to do. In the truck, in the vehicle script, when the player presses B, it removes the bin. And what we can do is we can search the workspace for this. So it removes the bin, and then we can say wait 2 seconds, and then we can say if car perfect, just like that. So now we can spawn the bin. We can pick it up. Right, it comes in, it's going to make contact with the object here. The player will get the reward. It's going to spawn some trash in there, make some sounds. And then we're done with it. And it should be deleted. Oh, you know why? Because I made it, that's not going to work. I made it part of this here. Should be its own function. Right, so the bin is there. There we go. Now it's gone. Oh, that's perfect. So in my opinion, that's the best way to handle this. It allows the player to spawn in their own bin, and then it allows the player to remove the bin, and they can manipulate it, and then they don't need to have 100 bins in the workspace and that sort of stuff. It just keeps things simple and streamlined and easy to use. So that's going to do it for this video. What do we do in this one here? We just kind of, we recreated the arm by adding some graphics to it, and then we decided how we were going to handle the individual bins that we're going to pick up with the arm. So the player will have to get out of the truck, activate a prompt, get the bin. Yeah, you know, it's cool. I like it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all hopefully in the next one. And in the next one, we are going to handle the reward, spawning of the garbage, and any of the final details that we want to do with our side bin system. So once again, thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing. I hope you're enjoying it. Oh, the last thing I was going to do, we'll wait. I want to upload this to the, let's see here, we're Roblox. Whoops. And then if we go to create, and we check out our creations, and we look at development items, I put the tow truck on there and the overhead garbage. Now the thing about the tow truck is right now it's set up, you need a part to activate it, so I realize that and I need to rework it. But if you guys are smart and you like the model and you know how to rework it, give her. But I'll get that functioning, and then this is the garbage truck. I think it's compatible with the bin. Oh, this is the garbage truck and bin here, actually. So yeah, check it out. Check it out. Thank you so much.